And I'm going to record this as well, just so we can share it later
I
as well.
think we are live now.
Okay, cool. All right, let me just hit record. All right. Awesome. All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our guitar Q&A session. My name is Sarah Kelly, and I am the Executive Director of the Worcester Music Academy. And we are joined by Derid and Eric today. They are our two fabulous guitar teachers, and also my assistant Marie, who's going to be helping out with moderating our chat feature. So if you have any questions throughout, feel free to just put them in the chat, and Marie will pass those along to us, and we'll make sure we get those answered for you towards the end of the presentation today. We'll also be posting some links to our website, so you have all of the information handy about our school and the different programs we offer. So before Derid and Eric take over, I just wanted to tell you briefly about our school. This is our 10th year in business, and we have many different programs that we offer. We are currently doing lessons online due to the pandemic, but we do hope to return to in-person lessons in the not too distant future. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you posted when that's going to happen. But we do offer online private lessons. Obviously today we're talking about guitar, but we do offer many different instruments and voice. We will be doing another one of these Q&A sessions next Saturday, January 16th at 11 a.m., where we talk about just general, all the different instruments. So if you're interested in other instruments, feel free to join us live on Facebook next week as well, and we will tell you even more. So we do offer 3 different lesson plans at our school. Our 10-month plan is our school year plan from September to June. We also offer a 3-month lesson plan if you're looking for a shorter commitment. And if you really want no commitment at all, we do have a new month-to-month plan that we're offering. And all the details about the pricing can be found on our website, and we'll post a link to that. You can choose from 30, 45, or 60-minute lessons. And in addition to that, we also offer online classes as well. So again, we'll post a link to that on our website so you can check out everything that we have to offer. All right, so we're gonna switch gears and now talk specifically about the guitar. So I just thought maybe Eric and Derid could each take a moment to introduce themselves and give a little background before we start talking about the details of what guitar lessons look like here. Eric, do you want to start?
Sure. Thank you. Hey, folks. My name is Eric, and um, I have been playing guitar since I was 12. If I told you how long that's been, I'd give away my age. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. Maybe not this early here in the discussion, but if you ask, um, perhaps I'll answer that question for you. But it's been a long time, and I've been teaching at the Music Academy now, I think for 5 years, 4 or 5 years. And I teach the guitar, the ukulele, and the electric bass guitar. Um, and I think my favorite part about teaching is getting to share in the love of um, of creation and self-expression through the guitar, which I personally think is one of the most dynamic and beautiful instruments that the human species has created. So um, I am happy to get to share that with students and with people who appreciate that as well.
Excellent. Derid, you want to give a little background?
Absolutely. Hi, my name is Derid Peguero. Um, I've been working at the Music Academy teaching guitar, ukulele, and helping with some trumpet also for many years now. And it's been a great satisfaction. Most of all, it's been a learning experience for me because I tell my students that every time I teach them, I'm also learning from them. So That's the reason it's been a such a satisfying experience for me teaching at the academy. And I've been playing guitar for many years now. And as Mr. Mr. Eric mentioned, um, it is all about sharing the creativity that that we express through playing the guitar and music in general. Actually, I put it as a music all the time instead of just the guitar because it's all about music. But the guitar specifically brings um, something special because it's such a universal instrument that everybody is familiar and at some degree attached to it. So um, my my approach is really simple. Just make music to enjoy it and express yourself, as Eric mentioned. It's just a sharing of the creativity part of music. That brings a lot of joy to to all of us.
Great. That's wonderful. Um, yeah, we love having both of you at at our school, and so thank you for being a part of our musical family. So we'll turn it over to talking more about the details of what guitar lessons look like. So maybe we can start with what happens in the first guitar lesson. Um, who would like to go first?
Derid, I went first last time. You go.
All righty, Eric. All righty. All right, thank you, Eric. Well, on the first lesson of the guitar, based on experience of so many years, on the first lesson is pretty much like in any other instrument. It's a time in which like when anyone goes to the doctor first has to do kind of a check to because some students they come with some knowledge of the instrument. If they do not come with knowledge, then anyway the doctor has to assess. So from there, then the teacher makes a plan for for achievement. And also the first lesson is is very crucial because um, the student get the feeling through through experimentation. I usually tune the guitar in a way that the student just brush or strums, and you sometimes you can play a song just strumming one chord. So the first lesson is just having the student uh, enjoy a little bit just by doing something simple, and and also asking the student what are the goals that they have in music. So it's discovery and experimentation on the first day.
Eric, how about you? What does your first lesson with a student look like?
Sure. When I'm approaching my lessons in general, I'm always kind of trying to live out the question of how I can help my students achieve their goals. And the best way for me to do that is to understand, what it is you as a student want to get out of your, what you want to achieve. And like Derid was saying, that is in a large part trying to understand where what your background is with music. If you have a family history in music, I find that um, those questions are really important. And also, if you play the guitar or another instrument before, what your musical understanding is. Um, and the I would say even the first couple lessons, if the guitar is brand new, um, I like to spend time trying to just focus on the instrument, understand how it works, and what the parts of the instrument are, and how we use it with our bodies to create sound. Um, and so it's kind of like, um, you know, I tend to do maybe a little bit of playing a little bit of sound making at first, but if a student is brand new to the instrument, then it's um, more knowledge. It's not maybe not as exciting, but I find it to be helpful to just get to understand what it is we're even doing with the instrument.
Mhm. Great. Well, let's back up a step and talk about what you need to get before you even start guitar lessons. So, some people may have an instrument lying around their house that they've always wanted to play or played way back when and kind of want to kind of relearn it or something like that. Or maybe they don't have one yet, but they want to take lessons. So, um, obviously, there's probably differences based on if you want an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar, if you're a 7-year old versus an adult, for sizing and things like that. So, what sort of things would a student of any age need before they can even show up at their first lesson?
Sure. I would say if you have an instrument um, that you want to we would make sure that it's the right size for your body. Like you mentioned, for students, there are like half size and 3/4 size guitars that can be great. If it's a child, I would say like um, 5 to 7. I would even recommend starting on a ukulele because there's the skills that you learn in the ukulele are transferable to the guitar, and it's a smaller, more manageable instrument with nylon strings, so the strings are softer for the fingers as opposed to a steel string instrument like an acoustic guitar or an electric guitar. So you do need an instrument. If you're using one that's lying around, it's best to have it serviced by a technician. So somebody at Union Music or Guitar Center who can set the guitar up with new strings and make sure that the strings are the right height for the instrument and that it's in working serviceable order.
Mhm.
Um, and I would say um, right now a webcam and maybe some headphones or you know a phone or a way for us to communicate through the internet.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Derek? Did I miss anything?
Well, you cover it all actually. The only thing I would say, Mr. Eric, is um, string choices. Um, because sizes are really important for children actually.
Good point.
And I will prefer also if the age range from 5 to 7, it is, as Eric mentioned, very it will be really nice if they start on the ukulele instead of the guitar because everything can transfer. So just going from there, also the feeling of the nylon strings. For me, it seems that it's a little bit easier for any type of beginner.
Hmm.
So um, just because of the strings are a little bit more friendly for the left hand, it takes less time to build up calluses. So so the string choice for me will be for any beginner nylon string.
And if you've got a student who wants, let's say they're 9 or 10, or even an adult who wants to start on the electric guitar, are there, I'm not a guitar player, so I don't know all the information. Are there different string types for electric guitars as well, or is it just kind of like one standard string that comes with that? Do you need an amp? What would you need for that setup?
I would say if you want to play the electric guitar, um, it is a steel stringed instrument, um, but there's a range of string. We refer to it as string sizes. It's the thickness of strings, and the thinnest or the lightest gauge string, which a shop can set you up with. And generally, when you buy a guitar, if you're buying a guitar at a shop, it's been set up with light gauge strings. I think probably with the assumption that your fingers are not going to be, quite there, quite ready for a heavier gauge. But light strings, and electric guitar, you can get away with lighter strings. So it is, there's a benefit there. An amplifier is going to certainly make your playing more rewarding because the tone of the electric guitar really comes through and is shaped by the amp that you play through. Um, and a lot of folks are kind of picturing maybe a little bit of a grittier or a bulkier sound. That's kind of what they want to hear. Um, and if you strum an electric guitar without an amp, it's just a really small sound. Um, you don't need it for the lesson, but uh, I think the joy of playing an electric guitar definitely is enhanced by an amplifier.
Sure. And I will just add, we do rent instruments, some instruments from our school. And I did just find out from our rental company that they now offer guitars available for rental. So, if you're hesitant about making a commitment to purchase an instrument before you start and you want to just try out um, renting something, please let me know. And I'm happy to facilitate that for you and get you all the pricing on that as well. So just wanted to add that as well. How about styles of music? I know you both have very different backgrounds. So, what kind of styles of music do you both feel comfortable teaching in your lessons? Dara, do you want to start with this one?
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. Yes. Um, I will say that as Eric knows, and most guitar players or players and teachers, they know, most students they want to do the sing along side of the guitar. It, as we all know, the guitar has so many faces. Um, I try to start with the sing along part. Some students who are in the intermediate level, they would like to learn some picking on the guitar, which is a little bit more advanced than strumming. And some of the students who are then more advanced, as Sarah knows, we have had some students that they're really advanced. They like to do some improvisation, um, which is another level of guitar playing, and also the classical guitar, which um, is another subject itself, because it is not an instrument that it is often found in the orchestra, but it has its place in classical music. Um, is probably the least favorite for for people to go after, but it's something really nice to have. It's the ultimate probably achievement that any guitarist may attain. But I can help uh, with any style. Let's say beginning in any style.
Great. How about you, Eric?
I my background with the guitar is in a like folk and singer songwriter style, um, and as a person like a personal professional, that's where I spend my time playing the guitar and continuing to develop my own skills. Um, and I feel, you know, it's more like what I can offer students um, is more along the lines of, pop and singer-songwriter, folk style of playing, and um, working with chords, with strumming songs, um, and Derid mentioned, and I thought maybe, as you were describing some of the styles, I thought it could be helpful just to display a little bit of differences. Um, in the sense that, with the guitar, like Derek was mentioning, you can strum a chord, or you can pick a chord, or you can kind of play the melody of a chord. Um, and so when it comes to like strumming and finger picking, those are some of I would say, my strengths. And then working towards understanding how to play melodically up and down the fretboard and playing more like an improvisational melodic style, I could definitely help with that.
Great. And I was going to follow that up with something. Um, Obviously at the beginning of any musical journey, if you're coming in as a very beginner with no prior lessons, you obviously have to learn the foundations of music in addition to just how do you play the guitar. So reading music, how to count music, all of that good stuff. Guitar, a lot of guitarists don't read music. Obviously we encourage reading music, but in addition to reading music, guitarists have tablature as well. So when you're once you get past this like basics of like how do you play the guitar and those fundamentals, how do you go about selecting music for your students to work on? Is it kind of like a open dialogue, your students make requests, or do you kind of come up with goals together of different types of things you want to work on, method books, that kind of stuff? Dare, do you want to start with that one?
Absolutely, yes, yes, Sarah. Um, with that process, I like all the time to be, let's say, 60% 40%. I like the student to tell me what song they like to learn, and then the other 40% I present um, songs to the student. So if the student is a child, um, I prefer mostly the material that we work on are children's songs, and if the student is an adult, everybody wants to learn a song. If they want to come to the guitars because they want to learn a certain song, so I prefer the student to select 60% of what they want to learn, and I provide the other 40%.
Mm-hmm. Great. Eric, how about you?
It's I have a similar approach with what Derid is describing. Um, for me, with young students, like really, when I say really young, I'm saying 5 to 7. Um, right in that range, I I have found that using a book is um, is most beneficial, and there are some books from Alfred's that courses for ukulele and guitar that I found. It just really helps facilitate in the developing the knowledge base in a way that um, I can work with the student to understand. And with older students, especially like more like 10 and then beyond, uh, I think at that age, students are more able to communicate what it is that they want to learn. So it's like what Derek is expressing. It's kind of a constant dialogue, and um, trying to select songs that will help um, facilitate a new skill or build on something that we're discussing. So if we're talking about finger picking, choosing a song that would be appropriate for finger picking, or talking about learning a new chord, then the song is going to incorporate the new chord that we're learning. Um, and yeah, looking for suggestions, and it depends. Each student. Some students are just really clear on what they want to learn, and other students are just kind of looking for me to make suggestions and recommendations. I tend to lean, if I'm picking songs, I don't focus much on contemporary music. I tend to pick kind of like, cultural classics, a lot of Beatles music, um,
Exactly.
things like that, songs um, that have become almost like standards in our cultural history, even though that is continually changing and developing. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's where I hit on that. And I see you giving me the thumbs up, so I think pretty similar, right?
Absolutely. It is like recipes that they never change. You have to do those classic
Yeah,
Beatles.
yeah,
Yes.
Awesome. So, obviously, with any activity, in order to progress and to get better and to meet your goals that you've set for yourself, you need to practice. We can't just show up for a lesson each week and that's the only time we've picked up our instrument and looked at our music. Teachers always know when their students have not practiced, so even without the student telling them that they haven't practiced. So what do you both recommend for your students as far as practicing? Is there a certain number of days a week, a certain number of minutes, hours that you're looking for, that you think would be a good goal to aim for? Eric, do you want to start with this one?
sure. So that's a great question, and um, so for myself, I'll start with just like a little anecdote. Um, as for me, I consider myself a lifelong learner, um, and I recently took a series of lessons myself, and it's great being on the student side of things to to come to a teacher and have them um, pass along that knowledge and help me set out like my goals and my plans and then help me achieve those goals. It's a really beautiful experience, and um, I found myself um, some weeks practicing, the like 3 times a week at least. That this is what I recommend: 3 times a week for 15 to 20 minutes. The total is an hour of practice a week minimum. And in my own experience, I find that there's a lot of growth that can happen with that. Um, and on weeks where I'm like, shoot, tomorrow's my lesson, and I try to cram in 40 minutes of practice in one day, it just doesn't translate in the same amount of growth. So in my own experience and what I see and encourage in my students is regular practice in smaller bits. Um, there's just a power to it that is not available in trying to binge um, or procrastinate or so. So that's my recommendation: is a minimum of an hour a week, and and to you know for young students, that kind of sub 10, sub 12 age range, parents, or guardians really need to be involved to help motivate and and create patterns of discipline, and and it's an opportunity. What I think is really beautiful as a kid and really at any stage of our life, but it's discipline helps us connect to I mean, is enhanced by connecting to our vision, what we want to achieve. So regularly discussing those goals and really connecting to how it would feel to be able to reach those goals, I think can provide the motivation to say, well, I have 10 minutes to like practice my instrument. I can give that,
Mm-hmm. Great. How about you, Jared? What are you expect from your students for practicing?
Well, I agree with most of with all of the ideas that Mr. Eric was mentioning about the timing for students. A little bit, but steadily is what really makes the difference. Creates a habit. Let's put it like that. Creates a habit in any musician, and and I um and I also try to negotiate with the student the concept that music is first is a language.
Mhm.
Um, to speak a language, there is no way that if you do not speak it or practice it, write it, read it, it's not gonna exist. So you have to practice a little bit. So it's a language and also is art. So the beauty of art is that the more you do it, the better it gets. So just I'm gonna throw an anecdote. First, my English is not my first language, so I have to practice my speaking. So the same thing with music. And another little story is that one of my guitar teacher told me in a lesson, uh, specifically just to play that piece 1 million times. I don't know if he meant it literally, but it's just the power of the practice. That the more you practice, it is just gets into a different dimension. It's an investment that you make on something that just grows and gets better and better.
Absolutely. And, I'd add that, especially for younger students, I mean, well, I guess it's applicable to really anybody, but, you might find that it's easier instead of doing 20, 30 minutes every single day all at one time to split it up. Don't be afraid to do 5 minutes here when you're taking a break from your work um, or homework. Fit it in where you can, if it's before school or before work or in a lunch break or whenever. It doesn't have to be all at one time. So you be creative in how you fit in your practicing. And again, to kind of go along with what both of you have said, you're not gonna, I think a lot of people will come into lessons for any instrument and just think that after the first lesson they're going to be able to play their instrument, right? And we all know that that's just not how it works. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, dedication, commitment, to really learn your instrument. And it's many times I get asked, how long does it take me to learn? Like, when will I be done learning how to play the guitar or the piano or whatever instrument? And that's a question you just can't ever answer, because the answer is never. You're never done learning. So as all of us are professional musicians, we understand that we're still constantly learning and evolving and refining our craft. It doesn't just stop because, oh, you got your degree or you did that performance or whatever. It's so, I think you have to go into this journey understanding that it is a journey and that it's going to take time to learn the fundamentals and then learn the music and kind of build your repertoire and fine tune your skills. Um, and as Eric mentioned earlier, I think before we even started talking with all of you guys today, you get what was your phrase? You put in,
Get
you
what
get
you
what you
put.
put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Exactly. And I would be remiss, I think, Derid would agree that if you're just starting out with the guitar, just the nature of you know the mechanics of pushing your fingers against these strings, it does take um, a certain amount of strength and dexterity, and your fingers need to develop calluses on the end to just handle the friction and the pushback of the strings. And it is honestly uncomfortable for you know uh, with regular practice. I would say 2 to 3 weeks. It physically hurts the end of your fingers until those calluses develop. So that is when you're going to come into guitar lessons. It's something that you have to know, that there is a level of discomfort. I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but it's going to be uncomfortable at first, and that it does go away for
Mhm.
sure. But it takes regularity and persistence.
Absolutely. And just kind of to go along with the same kind of thoughts is, um, we encourage open communication, between students and teachers, just, you know, to help you keep motivated. So if you're a parent and your child is taking guitar lessons and you're feeling frustrated that your child isn't practicing, or you don't feel like they're practicing enough, or um, maybe talk to your teacher, right? Because your teacher might have some great ideas on how to motivate your child to practice, or as Eric mentioned before, being involved in the lessons, especially when you're a younger student, so what your child is supposed to be practicing each week, and that you can help them sit in, especially at the beginning, sitting in on their lessons so you can be involved. And because if you're really young, you might forget, like, where am I supposed to put my hand? How am I supposed to hold the guitar? But if the parent or guardian is there to help you, and watching the lesson online, they can then help them practice during the week. So, and it could be, also a great opportunity to just regularly check in with your teacher anyway. Okay, well, how is my child doing? Um, do you have any feedback, or, you know, anything. So, just you don't want to just show up, or have your child show up for the lesson and then, you know, not not be involved. And along the same lines, because we are doing online lessons, you want to make sure that you are setting up in a way that's going to be most productive for the lessons as well. You might have other family members at home, pets at home, people doing other lessons or activities or work. So there might be a lot of noise, but if at all possible, finding a quieter space with little to no distractions for the lessons would be ideal, so that the student can get the most out of their lessons as well. And in the first lessons, will help you, get you set up in the right setup so that the teacher can see your guitar clearly, and help you, most effectively. So, it's a learning process for all of us, but it's well worth the investment in your time, I would say. Um, all right, let's see. I think those were my main topics. Eric and Derid, were there other things that you wanted to kind of address that we didn't talk about today? Eric, anything from you?
I think I just would like to reiterate that um, the way that I see my role as a teacher is a facilitator, and as someone who is here to in your life to help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. And in jumping off of what Sarah said on communication, it's something that I'm continually trying to work on, and and seeking honesty from my students. And I know that in general, or I at least perceive in general, that our culture has um, a high value of achievement, but also almost like a fear of failure, or of you know I don't know, like I have had students lie to me in lessons and say that they practice a certain amount of time out of fear of, like, this shame, I think, that that we have in our culture. And it's not really something that I enjoy, that I see, like, kind of in the greater world, but also not something that I want in my lessons. I do I'm a human being, and I recognize that we are all, we're all just kind of doing our best. And so I think honesty is just so helpful in lessons. Um, not being afraid of like disappointment or being shamed or something like that. It's not something I'm really interested in at all. I don't find those things very motivating or helpful. And so I thought that would be something that'd be helpful to just put out there.
Mhm. Yeah,
If
that's
you're
great.
considering wanting to take lessons.
Mhm. Derid, how about you? Anything you wanted to add?
Absolutely, yes. Yep. Just the joy factor of on playing the instrument. Not only the guitar, but playing a musical instrument. It is, to me, it's nothing else but joy. Um, and in playing the guitar, everybody knows this. This brings a lots and lots of um, just happiness to everyone. So anyone who takes a journey on playing the guitar is because you feel that, like, you want to play it. Even you see small children, toddlers, they see the guitar, they want to touch it. They don't know, they just go on the string and they just feel it and they just want to go like this. So besides, all the technical in the guitar, if somebody chooses to play the guitar, is because that person feels the guitar is going to bring lots of joy to him or herself and the people around them. So to me, the guitar is not nothing else but joy.
That's great. Um, Marie, are there any questions that you wanted to share?
No questions, although Nicola's dad left us a comment saying that Nicola misses you, Derid, and that they're hoping
Oh,
to be back
thank you.
soon. It's very
Absolutely,
sweet.
yes.
Oh, that's sweet.
Likewise, I learned so much from Nicola.
That's awesome.
Yes. Say hi to them, please.
Great. Well, I did forget to mention at the beginning that, we do offer a free 30-minute trial lesson to anyone who is interested in trying out a guitar lesson before signing up. So if that is something that you are interested in, please just send me an email. Marie will post my email in the chat feature, and we can definitely set that up for you. Like I said, it is free, but we do just require a credit card to have on file to hold the lesson. So we can take care of that for you. We are also offering a special offer for anybody who ends up signing up for guitar lessons as a result of watching our video today. So usually we charge $50 as our annual registration fee. We are discounting that by 50%. So if you sign up between now and next Saturday, this offer is valid for 1 week. We'll discount that. So it's only a $25 registration fee, and we will also offer 10% off of your first month of lessons. So hopefully that will be of interest to you. Um, Marie will also post some other links with like a link to our registration page. So if you do want to register, all you need to do is go straight to our website, click on the registration link, fill out the form, and then as soon as I get that, I will contact you and we'll get that finalized. We can take care of everything online. We do have online payments as well to keep things nice and easy for you. And then we do have some upcoming events. Like I mentioned, next Saturday, January 16th, is kind of like the general Worcester Music Academy question and answer session at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook. So if you would like to learn more about just the school in general, feel free to join us then. We are also going to be having a drum question and answer session on Saturday, January 30th at 3 p.m. So if you're interested in the drums specifically, feel free to join us. Again, we'll be here live on Facebook. If you are watching us on Facebook, you must at least be a follower or like our page, but we do encourage you to follow our Facebook page. We post a lot on there, different articles that might be interesting, videos, pictures, events, all kinds of stuff. So we're pretty active on Facebook, Instagram as well. We do have a YouTube channel where we're posting different teacher and student videos. So we encourage you to check out our music making over there as well. Um, and I think that's probably all. I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, Marie, you could remind me since you've done these with me before. Um, any other last words anybody would like to share before we say goodbye? Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for watching us. And if you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to email me at any point in time. You can also call us and leave us a voicemail, and I will give you a call back. And we hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.